Your heart is pounding, your thoughts leap to worst-case images, your chest tightens. One anxious idea spawns another and another, a chain reaction that feels impossible to stop. Sound familiar? If anxiety has ever felt like a prison, loud, relentless, and unfair, what follows will change how you relate to it. Most people treat anxiety as an enemy, something that happens to them beyond their control. They try quick fixes, shallow breathing, forced positive talk, distraction, and get brief relief, then the cycle returns. Here's the reframing you've been missing. Anxiety isn't a fault, it's a signal. And when you learn to read that signal and work with your mind instead of battling it, you unlock real power. You have more influence over your inner climate than you probably think. Today, we're not just calming anxiety, we're changing how you relate to it. At the root, in the body, and in the story you tell yourself. These are not surface tricks. This is about retraining your inner system and cultivating lasting calm. Chapter 1. Understanding the Anxious Mind. Before you soothe anxiety, understand what it is. Anxiety is more than nervousness. It's an ancient alarm system meant to protect you. But in the modern world, that alarm often misfires, sounding for things that don't actually threaten survival. Imagine a smoke detector so sensitive it screams whenever you boil water. The detector isn't morally flawed, it needs recalibration. Your anxiety is not proof of weakness. It's a protective program running on outdated settings. At the heart of it is the brain's negativity bias, the tendency to prioritize threats. Evolution rewarded scanning for danger. That once kept our ancestors alive instinct now magnifies everyday problems into catastrophes. When anxiety takes over, your brain moves into fight, flight, freeze. The amygdala hijacks attention. Blood leaves the prefrontal cortex, the seat of reasoning, and floods emotional centers. Logic fades, feelings surge, but this process isn't permanent, it's changeable. Thanks to neuroplasticity, your brain rewires with practice. Every time you settle your mind, you build pathways that make calm easier next time. The first crucial shift: stop fighting anxiety. Resistance tightens the system. Instead of pushing thoughts away, change the relationship you have with them. Picture anxiety as airplane turbulence. The turbulence isn't the threat to the plane, it's uncomfortable. Fighting it only increases your distress. If you can remain steady inside the turbulence, you keep clarity and agency. Anxiety loves certainty. It wants to control outcomes, but life is uncertain. Trying to hold what can't be held is like trying to squeeze water. So learn to rest in uncertainty. That skill alone will diffuse a huge part of your anxious energy. Remember, anxiety carries information. Sometimes it warns you of real problems. Other times it's old programming. The goal is to tell a helpful warning from habit-driven alarm. Chapter 2. Root causes of unrest. Anxiety doesn't arise from nothing. It grows from patterns, stories, and lifestyle factors that feed it. Many people treat symptoms, not causes, and so relief is temporary. Perfectionism is a primary feeder. If you set impossible standards, worry nonstop about mistakes, or fear disappointing others, you build chronic tension. Perfection is an illusion. The attempt to control everything produces endless vigilance. Perfectionist thinking sounds like, if I just plan harder and worry more, I can prevent problems. But that keeps you trapped in hypervigilance. Another root is the need for certainty and control. You crave guarantees, safety, approval, security. Life offers none. Chasing control fuels anxiety in a loop. More uncertainty, more anxiety, more attempts to control, more anxiety. Past experiences matter. Your nervous system keeps memory. Trauma, rejection, or overwhelming stress can program your system to stay on guard long after danger is gone. That's why some people feel anxious in good times. The stories you repeat about the world, it's dangerous, I'm not enough, act like background software that tilts your attention toward threat. Social conditioning amplifies anxiety too. News, social media, and ads profit from fear. Constant exposure normalizes a state of worry that eventually internalizes. Disconnection from your body worsens it. Overthinking keeps you trapped in the head and cut off from bodily signals of safety. Your body knows how to process stress. You just need to listen. Lifestyle choices matter. Poor sleep, too much caffeine, inactivity, and bad nutrition create fertile ground for anxiety. Mind and body are one. Fix the body and the mind follows. Finally, fear of anxiety itself can become the main issue. After a panic episode, many develop anticipatory anxiety. Anxiety about anxiety, which keeps the nervous system on high alert. Chapter 3. The Physiology of Calm. Mind and body are a team. To master anxiety, you must work with your physiology. When anxious, your body enters arousal. Faster heart, shallow breath, tense muscles, stress hormones, slowed digestion. This is fight, flight, freeze preparing you for action. Repeated activation is exhausting and harmful. The good news, your body has a break. The parasympathetic nervous system that brings rest and recovery. You can learn to flip that switch. Breath is the most accessible lever. Many people breathe shallowly, which signals danger. But deep diaphragmatic breathing tells the brain you're safe. The 4-7-8 technique is effective. Inhale 4 counts, hold 7, exhale 8. It slows heart rate, lowers blood pressure, and gives your mind a simple focus that interrupts worry. Posture sends messages too. Hunched, closed positions reinforce vulnerability. Open posture, chest relaxed, shoulders back, signals safety to your brain and shifts mood. Temperature tools help. A splash of cold water or a cold shower can stimulate vagal pathways and calm you. Warmth, a hot bath or heated chest pad, can soothe an anxious system. Progressive muscle relaxation teaches your body the contrast between tension and release. Tense a muscle group for 5 seconds, then release and notice the difference from toes to head. Nutrition influences mood. Blood sugar swings provoke anxiety. Balanced meals with protein and less sugar help stability. Magnesium-rich foods support calm. Movement metabolizes stress hormones. You don't need intense workouts, walking, stretching, or gentle dance moves. The nervous energy and releases endorphins. Sleep is essential. Poor sleep raises vulnerability to anxiety. Create routines. Cool, dark bedroom. Screen-free wind down. Consistent schedules. Honor your natural energy cycles. Schedule demanding tasks when you're at peak energy and rest when you dip. Fighting biology creates stress. Chapter 4. The Power of Present Moment Awareness. Anxiety can't live fully in the present. It feeds on future fear and past regret. Right now, in this moment, you are safe. That's the central truth of present moment practice. Your anxious mind is a time traveler stuck away from home, projecting futures and replaying histories. But life happens in the now. Present moment awareness isn't false positivity. It's anchoring attention in what is, not what might be. The breath is the most reliable anchor. You can't breathe in the past or future. When anxiety spirals, return to the breath. Feel air at the nostrils, the rise and fall of belly and chest. Your 5 senses pull you into now. See details. Hear ambient sounds. Smell whatever is present. Touch textures. Taste. Sensory focus stops mental time travel immediately. Labeling helps. I notice anxious thoughts creates distance. You're not the thought, you're the awareness noticing it. Mindfulness is training. You don't need to sit for hours. Practice noticing distraction and gently returning to the present. Every small return strengthens your capacity. Ask the pragmatic questions. What is actually happening right now? What do I know to be true in this moment? This shifts the mind from hypothetical to verifiable facts. Body awareness grounds you. Feeling feet on the floor, the weight of your body, the temperature of air on skin. These are anchors to now. Walking meditation merges movement with presence. Focus fully on the physical act of walking, feet, weight shifts, breath. When the mind wanders, bring it back to the steps. Acceptance matters. Present moment awareness includes acknowledging reality without immediately trying to fix it. Resistance wastes energy. Acceptance frees it for wise action. Most worries never happen. The things that do occur are rarely as catastrophic as imagined. Staying present lets you respond with clarity and skill. Chapter 5. Rewiring anxious thought patterns. Thoughts feel like truth when anxiety dominates, but they are habits, and habits can be changed. Cognitive distortions are the mind's shortcuts that twist reality. All or nothing thinking, catastrophizing, mind reading, fortune telling, and confirmation bias. Recognize these patterns and question your automatic conclusions. Cognitive restructuring is a practical tool. When a thought arises, ask, is this true? What evidence supports this? What argues against it? What would I tell a friend? Don't swap realism for forced positivity. Replace unrealistic assumptions with honest, balanced statements. From I'll fail catastrophically to I'm anxious about this, but I've prepared and will do my best. Thought stopping interrupts loops. Say stop mentally or picture a red sign, then redirect attention. This breaks repetitive worry. Diffusion language creates distance. I'm having the thought that I'll mess up instead of I will mess up. Subtle wording reduces identification with thoughts. Reframing shifts perspective. View a feared event as an opportunity to learn, connect, or practice rather than a threat to be avoided. Replace should with could. Should implies impossible standards and fuels anxiety. Cultivate a witness stance. Observe thoughts with curiosity rather than full belief. You are aware of thoughts. You aren't owned by them. Journaling externalizes anxious narratives. Write down thoughts, then challenge them. Seeing them on paper reveals distortions and creates space for correction. Change takes time. Neural patterns built over years don't vanish overnight. But every time you choose a different thought, you strengthen new pathways. Chapter 6. The Art of Mental Detachment. Detachment is widely misunderstood. It's not coldness, it's freedom to care without being controlled by outcomes. Anxious minds cling to specific results. Approval, perfect plans, predictable timelines. That gripping causes suffering. Imagine holding a rope. Clenching it tight makes your hands ache. A steady, relaxed grip gives control without pain. That's healthy detachment. Differentiate preference from attachment. A preference is wanting something while being okay if it doesn't happen. Attachment requires the outcome for your sense of worth. Outcome independence. Do your best, then release the result. Plant the seed, water it, then step away from micromanaging growth. You can influence others, but you cannot control them. Wanting people to behave a certain way fuels anxiety. Accept others' autonomy. Detach from identity and image. If your peace depends on appearing perfect, you'll live in fear. Allow being imperfect, like mistakes are part of growth. Ego creates attachment. Observe egoic needs without being consumed by them. You are awareness beyond those dramas. Practice non-resistance. Resisting what is wastes energy and increases anxiety. Acceptance enables wiser response, not passivity. Detach from timelines. Life unfolds on its own schedule. Work toward goals without demanding immediate results. Surrender is related. Act fully, then let go of control. Surrender doesn't mean inaction. It means releasing the illusion that you can force every outcome. Let go of needing certainty about being anxiety-free. Ironically, craving freedom from anxiety makes you anxious. Accept occasional anxiety as part of life, and it loses its sting. Chapter 7. Creating inner safety and security. A lot of anxiety stems from feeling unsafe, internally more than externally. Inner safety is an anchor you build within, independent of the world's unpredictability. Start with self-trust. Believe in your capacity to handle difficulty. Look back at hardships you already survived as evidence of resilience. Cultivate a supportive inner relationship. Replace harsh inner critics with a compassionate inner friend. Self-compassion creates a secure internal environment. Set healthy boundaries. Protect your time and energy so you don't get depleted by others' demands. Boundaries reduce chronic stress. Take care of physical safety through sleep, nutrition, movement, and avoiding substances that spike anxiety. Your environment matters. Tidy, calm spaces support calm minds. Financial planning helps. A budget, emergency fund, or diversified income reduces survival worries. Spiritual or philosophical frameworks can anchor you. Whether spiritual belief, a sense of human resilience, or a personal philosophy, having meaning helps soothe existential fear. Develop practical skills. The more competent you feel, the less anxious you'll be about unknowns. Learn communication, problem-solving, and self-care skills. Supportive relationships matter. Trusted people provide co-regulation and perspective. Quality connections act as a safety net. Purpose and meaning ground you. When life feels meaningful, small anxieties shrink in proportion. Self-reliance strengthens safety. Know you can meet basic needs, emotionally and practically, without depending entirely on others. Accept that complete safety is impossible, but take reasonable precautions. That acceptance reduces the frantic need to control everything. Chapter 8. The Practice of Emotional Regulation. Emotional regulation is feeling feelings without being overwhelmed. Emotions are transient, not like weather, and will pass if not gripped. Anxiety becomes problematic when it's resisted or when you're swallowed by it. The RAIN method is a clear way to navigate difficult feelings. Recognize, allow, investigate, non-attachment. Recognize the feeling, allow it without fighting. Investigate with curiosity where it lives in the body and what thoughts accompany it. Then step back without over-identifying. Somatic awareness matters. Emotions are in the body, so breathe into the sensations instead of trying to intellectualize them away. Know your window of tolerance, the zone where you can think clearly and respond. Outside it, you either hyper-arouse or shut down. Catch early signs and apply regulation tools. Grounding techniques like the 5-4-3-2-1 sensory method pull you back into body and present reality. Breathing tools such as the physiological sigh, a deep inhale, small inhale, long exhale, quickly calm the nervous system. Titration means working with small doses of difficult feelings so you don't overwhelm yourself. Build tolerance gradually. Emotional granularity, by not naming emotions precisely, what gives you precision for targeted responses rather than a fog of feeling bad. Pendulation moves attention between a difficult sensation and a resource sensation. That back and forth trains the nervous system to tolerate distress while anchored in safety. Self-soothing techniques, warm bath, comforting music, weighted blanket, are practical ways to settle the system when needed. Cognitive reappraisal shifts meaning to change feelings. Opposite action helps you behave opposite to the impulse when the impulse is unhelpful. Distress tolerance tools help you survive intense moments without destructive responses. Chapter 9. Transforming fear into wisdom. Fear can be a guide, not just a jailer. Every fear carries information about what you value. Fear of speaking means you care about respect. Fear of instability shows you value security. Instead of trying to obliterate fear, become a student of its messages. Do a fear inventory. List your fears and ask, what is this protecting? What does it reveal I value? If I weren't afraid, what would I try? This converts vague dread into actionable insight. Thank old protections that once helped you, and consciously choose new responses that fit today's reality. Expose limiting beliefs. If failure feels catastrophic, Look for beliefs like, I'm only valuable if I succeed. Challenge and reframe them. Use worst case scenario planning productively. Imagine the worst, make a plan to handle it, and usually discover it's survivable. That reduces anxiety and builds competence. Gradual exposure builds confidence over time. Start small and expand the challenge as you succeed. Discern real danger from imagined danger. This skill frees you to take wise risks without paralysis. Shadow work, integrating rejected parts of yourself, uncovers hidden strengths that fear tried to hide. Bring those parts back and reclaim power. Facing mortality with acceptance often lightens smaller fears. Making peace with finitude clarifies priorities and reduces petty anxieties. Transforming fear is practice. Act despite fear, learn from it, and grow your courage muscle. Chapter 10. Building unshakable mental resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover, adapt, and stay anchored amid life's storms. It starts with accepting that struggle is part of life, not proof that something's wrong with you. Adopt a growth mindset. Abilities can develop through effort and learning. Challenges become opportunities rather than judgments on your worth. Diversify your sources of meaning and support. Relying on only one pillar, career, partner, makes you vulnerable. Cultivate multiple wells of connection and purpose. Flexibility is essential. Rigid thinking increases anxiety. Adapt strategies as circumstances change. Reframe challenges as potential growth. Hard times often produce unexpected gifts. New directions, renewed priorities, deeper self-knowledge. Emotional agility, acknowledging feelings without being driven by them, supports resilience. Purpose is a powerful anchor. Small, consistent purposes add up and help you weather setbacks. Quality relationships matter more than quantity. Trusted allies offer perspective and practical help. Self-compassion sustains resilience. Be kind to yourself while taking responsibility and working forward. Physical resilience supports mental resilience. Sleep, nutrition, exercise, and stress management strengthen the whole system. Build small wins. Each handled difficulty adds evidence of capability, preparing you for bigger challenges. Learn from adversity. Extract lessons and use them to grow. Embrace the responsibility to choose your response regardless of circumstances. Chapter 11. Advanced visualization for mental mastery. Visualization is a neurological rehearsal. Your brain responds to vivid imagined experience almost like the real thing. When you mentally rehearse calm, confident responses, you train neural pathways toward those states. Don't visualize anxiety-free. That keeps attention on anxiety. Visualize the state you want. Grounded, centered, composed. Make visualizations sensory-rich. Feel the breath, notice posture, hear your calm voice, sense the environment. The fuller the sensory detail, the more your nervous system encodes the experience. Create future memories, repeatedly imagining successful outcomes, so your brain can draw on them in real situations. Sanctuary visualization builds an inner safe place you can access quickly when anxiety arises. Rehearsal visualization practices the whole experience of success. Arriving calm, breathing steadily, speaking clearly. So your nervous system expects that pattern. Reverse visualization can neutralize fear. Imagine handling the worst outcome with composure and resourcefulness. That reduces the catastrophic charge. Embodied visualization links imagery with physical relaxation. As you imagine calm, let your muscles soften, slow your breath, embody the state. Timeline visualization heals past patterns. Imagine giving compassion to younger parts of yourself and letting that calm flow forward into the present. Archetypal visualizations, wise elder, peaceful warrior, nurturing parent, tap timeless strengths inside you. Environmental visualizations let you mentally step into places that support calm. Forests, lakes, cozy rooms. Cellular visualization goes deep. Imagine calm flowing into every cell, shifting chemistry toward balance. Combine visual imagery with affirmations that feel believable. I am learning to meet challenges with calm and clarity. Use visualization preventatively. Rehearse responses to triggers before they occur, so the nervous system is prepared. Chapter 12. The Science of Nervous System Regulation. Anxiety lives in the nervous system. Regulating that system is the most powerful lever for lasting peace. The autonomic nervous system has two main branches: sympathetic, accelerator, and parasympathetic, brake. Polyvagal theory adds nuance. There's a ventral vagal state of safety and social engagement, sympathetic mobilization, and dorsal vagal shutdown. Many people are stuck cycling between sympathetic arousal and dorsal shutdown without accessing the ventral safety zone. Learning to activate the ventral vagal system reopens connection, clarity, and problem solving. The vagus nerve is the highway between brain and body. Stimulating it by breath, cold, humming, or social connection shifts you toward calm. Breathing is the most direct tool. Different patterns deliver different messages to the brain. The physiological sigh, deep inhale, small inhale, long exhale, is particularly rapid at downshifting arousal. Heart rate variability, HRV, is a marker of resilience. Coherent breathing, about 5 breaths per minute, synchronizes heart rhythm and breathing and improves HRV. Cold exposure trains resilience. Controlled cold prompts activation, and maintaining calm during it strengthens your regulatory capacity. Co-regulation matters. Being around calm people helps you become calmer. Our nervous systems sync. Choose relationships that help, rather than aggravate activation. Movement completes the stress cycle. Gentle shaking, walking, or stretching helps your body discharge built-up activation. Track your nervous system. Notice early signs of activation, breath, tension, heart rate, and intervene early. Sound, vibration, humming, and singing stimulate the vagus nerve. Gentle touch, massage, or weighted blankets can also activate parasympathetic calming. Temperature balance and environment support regulation. Find your optimal comfort zone. Social connection is a fundamental regulator. Attuned relationships literally help stabilize your physiology. Chapter 13. Mastering the Inner Dialogue. Your inner voice shapes how you feel and act. Most people run an unconscious, repetitive commentary that steers their moods. Anxiety often comes from anxiety radio, a nonstop loop of worry, self-criticism, and worst-case forecasts. You can change the station. Step 1. Notice the voice. Observe its tone, topics, and judgments. Awareness creates the first space between you and the script it plays. Many inner voices are echoes, parental warnings, teacher critiques, societal conditioning. They're updatable. Anxious self-talk repeats 3 themes: catastrophizing future, ruminating past, and criticizing present. Redirecting inner conversation is a skill. Replace "what if I fail" with "I'm prepared and will do my best." Replace "I always mess up" with "I'm learning and improving." Ask better questions. Swap disempowering "why me?" Questions for solution-focused ones. What can I do right now to improve this? What's one small step? Cultivate a compassionate inner coach. Talk to yourself like you would a friend. Encouraging, realistic, kind. Conscious self-talk chooses thoughts that are true and helpful, not denial or false optimism. Reframing helps you see multiple interpretations of an event instead of the single worst one. Recognize the inner critic as a protective pattern that's outlived its usefulness. Thank it, then choose not to follow its lead. Build an inner mentor voice, wise, calm, and steady, to offer perspective in moments of doubt. Thought stopping can break loops, but pair it with immediate redirection to something constructive. Internal boundaries matter. You don't have to accept every thought as truth. Learn to say no to unhelpful mental noise. Use mental rehearsal to prime responses. Rehearse calm competence rather than disaster scenarios. Practice multiple perspectives. Ask, how else could this be? How will this look in 5 years? Gratitude in your inner dialogue rebalances attention. Regularly name what's working and what you've learned. Choose affirmations that ring true. I am learning to handle challenges with more calm is credible and buildable. Become your own coach. Notice effort, celebrate progress, and maintain compassionate belief in your growth. Chapter 14. Creating lasting transformation. Temporary relief is useful. Lasting change is different. It changes who you are at the level of habits, identity, and environment. Transformation begins with seeing anxiety as a misfiring protector that can be retrained rather than an enemy to defeat. Identity matters. If you identify as an anxious person, you'll unconsciously keep proving that identity true. Begin to adopt the identity of someone learning to master their inner world. Train calm during calm times. Practice being peaceful when you already feel safe so it becomes your default. Heal underlying wounds. Many anxiety patterns began as necessary adaptations. Acknowledge them with compassion and choose new responses for your present life. Repairing yourself means offering the care you needed earlier. Gentle self-talk, appropriate boundaries, and ongoing reassurance when necessary. Design your environment to support change. Physical spaces, social circles, and the information you consume all subtly influence who you become. Somatic practices integrate body and mind. Yoga, Tai Chi, dance, or nature time recalibrate nervous system memory. Spiritual or philosophical practices often deepen transformation by providing meaning and perspective that transcend immediate worry. Build an emotional immune system. Small, repeated exposures to manageable stressors with recovery time strengthens resilience. Neuroplasticity confirms what you practice becomes you. Consistency matters more than perfection. Metacognitive awareness, knowing how you think, lets you intervene at the source of anxious cycles instead of only treating symptoms. Create rituals and routines, morning anchors, evening processing, weekly check-ins. Routines embed new habits into daily life. Choose decisions from wisdom rather than anxiety. Ask, is this choice driven by fear or by what truly serves me? Cultivate wisdom reserves. Read, reflect, learn from others, and extract lessons from experience so you have resources when stress hits. Transformation moves you from separation to connection, to yourself, to others, to meaning. Anxiety becomes manageable rather than defining. Expect occasional anxiety, but your relationship to it changes. You observe, learn, and respond rather than being swept away. As you stabilize, you become a steadying presence for others, not by fixing them, but by embodying calm and showing possibility. Chapter 15. Living as your authentic self. Often the deepest cure for chronic anxiety is authenticity. Much anxiety comes from performing a self that won approval. A false self built for safety. Maintaining that act consumes energy and breeds fear of exposure. Authenticity is not reckless honesty. It's aligning your outer life with your inner truth in ways that are considerate and appropriate. Identify your masks: people pleaser, perfectionist, chameleon. Notice how you behave differently in settings and where you've disconnected from yourself. The energy cost of acting is real. Chronic fatigue, anxiety, and numbness often follow. Begin authenticity experiments. Small, safe tests in which you express a true preference, speak your genuine opinion, or show a small vulnerability. These build evidence that being real is survivable. Develop tolerance for others' reactions. Not everyone will like the real you, and that's normal. Authentic living attracts those aligned with you and repels those who aren't a fit. Clarify values. Live by what truly matters to you, not by inherited or cultural scripts. Align choices with inner truth to reduce internal conflict. Allow the full range of emotion. Emotional authenticity heals the tension created by suppressing forbidden feelings. Discover and express your gifts. Doing what energizes you reduces anxiety born of misfit roles. Practice the courage to disappoint kindly. Say no when needed, honor your needs, and accept that not everyone will agree. Authentic communication reduces internal monitoring and the anxiety of constantly performing. Boundaries protect authenticity. They're not walls, but guards for your center. Self-acceptance is the foundation. Embrace imperfections while working to grow. Acceptance paradoxically frees you to change. Resistance often intensifies as you shift. Your false self will push back. Notice the anxiety, thank the protective part, and persist gently. Reclaim childhood impulses and curiosities. What did you love before trying to fit in? Those threads point back to your core. Authenticity is not something you create from scratch. It's allowing what's already inside to be seen. When you live authentically, anxiety loses its foothold because you stop living in conflict with yourself. This is the path from alarm to ally, from frantic reactivity to steady, embodied calm. Practice, patience, and compassion are the engine of change. You won't be perfect at this, you'll have setbacks. But every moment you notice anxiety and choose a different response, you're building a new, calmer default. Breathe, notice, choose, repeat. You are more capable than your anxious mind tells you. And the peace you seek is learning to move through life as your real self, steady, wise, and fully alive.